Alrighty guys, welcome back on in. This week we're going to be looking at the Shrine again. We can currently see we have Streetwise, which is the teachable unlocked from Nier at level 40. We have Thrilling Tremor, which is by far the best teachable the Ghostface brings into the game. A god tier perk, and I'll get into details with that why. We have We're Gonna Live Forever, or We're Gonna Farm Forever as it's known, unlocked by David King at level 30. And we have Save the Best for Last, which I believe is a level 40 unlockable perk for the Shape. Now, quickly just going to point out, DLC perk Thrilling Tremor, DLC perk Save the Best for Last, not a DLC perk for Streetwise on Nier, and David King, We're Gonna Farm Forever is not a DLC perk as well. They're both part of the normal game. What does Streetwise do? Basically, while you're working, whatever item you have, whether that be a flashlight, a medkit, a toolbox, even a key with channeling aura ability, it's going to be consumed at a 15, 20, and 25% slower rate. So that's pretty much... It's like running a perk called It's like running a toolbox with a yellow add-on called Instructions. It basically allows you to not consume your item as much as you would. So what does consumption rate mean? So say 2 seconds of generator work uses 4 charges. Now using this, 2 seconds of generator work will use 3 charges. Therefore, you prolonged 1 charge, so you can use the toolbox for longer. By default, a generator takes all the charges from a toolbox to do. I believe a brown toolbox has 60 charges, and a generator will be done in that period of time. It'll consume the toolbox unless you land 1 great, and if you land 1 great, it'll consume everything except 1 charge in the toolbox. If you ever miss a skill check, it consumes 2 charges to build up what you missed out on. So just keep that in mind. Not a bad perk. It does buff everybody else who has the item, and they have to be around you though. It's an aura like leader and prove thyself. I personally wouldn't run it. I don't think it's necessary. If you wanted to run a god toolbox and run the wire spool with the socket swivel and then Streetwise, you pretty much have Instructions, so you got 3 add-ons on your toolbox. You can get a really beast toolbox out there, but it's not really worth 1 perk slot in my personal opinion and experience. I'm going to skip Thrilling Tremor because it's a god tier perk, and I'm going to come back to it at the end. We're going to farm forever. What does this allow us to do? This basically allows us, when we hook save a teammate who's been hooked, if they don't go down in, I think it's 8 seconds or so, we get 1 stack, 1 token. This is the survivor version of barbecue and chili. If I get hit while there's an injured survivor nearby, I can take something called a protection stack, and a protection stack goes towards We're Gonna Live Forever too. Yes, you can take the hit under the hook, and you get the protection stack as well, so you get 2 stacks and 1. What does it allow you to do? Basically, it increases the amount of blood points you receive at the end of the trial by 25% per stack. At tier 1, you can only have 2 stacks, tier 2, you can have 3, and tier 3, you can have 4 stacks, so therefore, works 4 times. It is not unique like barbecue and chili. With barbecue and chili, you need to uniquely hook all 4 survivors. However, with We're Gonna Live Forever, you can keep saving the same guy and get tokens from that as well. Basically, will allow you to get 100% additional blood points at the end of the trial. It gets whatever you got 12,000 blood points multiplied by 2, therefore you get 24,000. This perk is called Save the Best for Last. Now, I've spoken about this perk quite a few times in stream. I'm going to speak to about you guys how amazing this perk is. This is a god tier perk on the Pig and on the Demogorgon. A recent change to Dead by Daylight means that now the killers cannot use on-hit effects on their special ability. Therefore, a Legion using Feral Frenzy cannot hit a survivor with Sloppy Butcher. They will still fall under the effect of Thanatophobia, because Thanatophobia is not an on-hit effect. It's on a damaged survivor effect, if that makes a little sense. Trying to apply something like Third Seal, it will not work with Legion special ability. However, there's pros and there's cons with this. So you can't ambush somebody as a pig and get Sloppy Butcher on them. However, Save the Best for Last is an on-hit effect. When you M1 a survivor, you recover 5% faster from your next auto attack. Not missing, but if you connect. It can have 8 tokens, therefore a 40% CDR reduction on your auto attacks. What does this mean? It basically means you can hit Jeff, he'll sprint burst in a straight line, you can recover 40% quicker and get up behind him a lot faster. Start building your Bloodlust a lot faster. Bloodlust does not build while you're recovering from an attack. Once you finish the animation, Bloodlust will start rebuilding as long as you're in chase with the survivor, so keep that in mind. It'll cut it down by a second and a half, maybe 2 seconds. Might be the difference between getting a hit or not. Works if somebody's going to go for a hook trade save. You go boom, love tap, and then you get another one. You get 3 stacks of Save the Best for Last. If you hit your Obsession, you lose 4 stacks of this perk if it's tier 1. If it's tier 2, you lose 3 stacks. If it's tier 3, you lose 2 stacks. So whenever you hit the Obsession, you want to avoid hitting the Obsession at all costs, because it's going to debuff this perk. However, some obsessions realize this and they get right up in your face. With the Pig, you can ambush hit her, and because it doesn't apply an on-hit effect, you're going to get maximum benefit of not consuming the charges. You will still recover at the default ambush recovery rate, provided you don't have brown add-ons to enhance it. But at the same time, you'll preserve all your stacks. If you have 8 stacks and you don't want to consume them, you can ambush, hit them like that, much like Shred on the Demogorgon. You can open up and Shred and do it. If you Shred hit somebody who's not your obsession, you do not build a stack. So this is a god tier perk when used correctly. You see people run it on Trapper, run it on Clown. It's not bad, but it gets massive bang for its buck on both Demo and on Pig. You'll see a lot of people run it and realize how powerful it is. You could run something like Make Your Choice instead. This takes a bit of time to ramp up, but to the mid to the late game, it gets a lot stronger. So that's generally where the Pig will excel as well, when multiple people have helmets on their head. That being said, guys, let's move on to the last perk. I would highly recommend buying this out of everything in the shrine. If you had 4,000 shards, I would buy this. If you only have 2,000 shards, holy crap. Now, this here is probably the single-handed best tracking perk that is a DLC perk in Dead by Daylight. It's better than Discordance because it's more reliable. It protects your generators, and it gives you more information rather than losing a Jenny. Now, I said that, but obviously, Bitter Murmur is the best tracking perk, but requires you to lose a generator. This preserves it. So what does Thrilling Tremor do? Alright, this is the best version of Barbecue and Chili. It's much better in my opinion and my experience. I've played this game for thousands and thousands of hours. I haven't played with this perk for thousands of hours because it hasn't been out that long, but this perk here is a hidden gem. So basically, when you down a survivor, once you pick that survivor up, the second you start an animation, all generators will be sealed as if you had Corrupt Intervention. The entity's grasp will appear on the generator, sealing the generators. This means no survivor can work on these Jennies for 16 seconds. They will glow white, so you'll know there's no one on them. If the Jenny is not glowing white and it's red, you know there's a survivor on that. So then when you hook your teammate or you hook the survivor, you go straight to the generator and go for pop. You're going to know if one Jenny's being worked on, 2 Jennies, 3 Jennies, where they all are. It is a very powerful perk, especially on killers with map pressure. Billy, 230% movement speed, round the board. Huntress, people would go Barbecue over on the Huntress. I prefer Thrill. Huntress is slow at 110% movement speed. She can't get around the board fast. Therefore, this stalls Jennies and puts you in a better spot, allowing you to get around the board a little bit quicker. Much like Discordance. I think they're both great. Thrilling Tremor is a god perk on Freddy Krueger. Right? It's good on a lot of killers. In fact, I could happily run this on all my killers. It's a fantastic perk. Don't get me wrong. Why is it a god perk on Freddy Krueger? When entwined with Discordance, which is a Legion teachable unlocked at level 30. What does Discordance do? Discordance is when there's more than one target working on a generator, it'll pulsate and explode for 8, 10, and 12 seconds, whether it's tier 1, 2, or tier 3. It'll explode and it'll give you information that there are multiple survivors on that generator right now. Multiple Jennies can be under the effect of Discordance, therefore you know where all 4 survivors are. If you have Jeff on the hook chasing Nia, and then all of a sudden a Jenny starts exploding and you can see it glow green, you know if you down Nia, you can go straight over there. You can let go or chase on Nia and go for pop over there. You can hit Nia with an M1 or get a pallet out of Nia, then go straight across there. Very powerful on killers that can get around the board fast or don't have a heartbeat. But it's not on the shrine this week, Discordance. Thrilling Tremor is. Now, why is this good? Basically, Freddy Krueger can teleport around the board in 3 seconds. You hold the control key to the generator they're on, you wait for it at 2.9 seconds, you let go, then you pick the guy up from dying state. Most survivors, 9 out of 10 times, will have let go of the generator because your illusions came through and colored through and you could go for a hit on them and they could think you're slugging. And then you pick up Jeff. Now you've just picked up Jeff from the ground, you've sealed the generator, you know 2 people are on, and then all of a sudden a generator to the left is currently glowing, not glowing white, is red. You know where there's 1 player there, there's 2 players there, you have so much information and situational awareness. I cannot stress enough, this perk here is in my top 5 best perks in my personal opinion for what I succeed with in rank 1, getting 4Ks with no add-ons, right? From top to bottom, I've got Pop Goes the Weasel, Thrilling Tremor, actually, let's try that again. Pop Goes the Weasel, Discordance, Thrilling Tremor, Infectious Fright, and Surge. Even Surveillance is up there too. They're my top 5 favorite perks in Dead by Daylight at the moment. It's a good perk on people like Trapper, people like the Hag that need to prep around the board, Michael Myers who needs to get stalked. You can see by the fact that I've sat here speaking about this perk for about 3 or 4 minutes how good it is. If you're a killer main, I highly suggest picking up this perk. You will not find a better buy in the shrine than this, in my experience. You might get lucky next week and see 3 awesome perks, but I would not go past this. It is a Ghostface teachable. and I haven't seen it in the web very often or in the on the shrine too often, so I highly recommend getting it. If you're a survivor main, I would still highly recommend getting Thrilling. And if you were going to play quite a bit and you have enough shards, I would buy both these perks if I did not own Michael Myers DLC. If I did own him, I wouldn't buy this. However, Michael Myers is a little buggy right now based on dedicated servers with lag desync, so a lot of people are turned off playing him, but I still play him and enjoy him quite a bit. Buy Thrilling Tremor, guys. It is a god tier perk, and we need to see more people using it. It is the better version of Barbecue. The only thing that Barbecue does that is better is gives you more blood points. This tells you what Jennies they're on. How do you lose a game? By losing generators, so it protects your main objective. I love Thrilling Tremor on my Spirit alongside Horn of Ground, Devour, Hope, and Pop, and it works like a charm for the vast majority of games as well. Alrighty guys, that's going to be all for this week's Shrine. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to pop over to a live stream, I do stream Dead by Daylight 5 days a week. It'd be good to have you guys over here with all the beautiful people of Twitch chat. We do walk through what we're doing and what we're going to be able to do to outplay the killer and the survivor in most of our situations as well. Do you think you know everything about Dead by Daylight? Come help me teach the people that don't. Guys, it was a pleasure to have you watching, and I will see you all in the fog and in the next video. Have a good night.